The same is true of a second award that we're going to present today for the first time, the Maura Corrigan Foster Family Lifetime Achievement Award. It'll be presented to Miss Ramah Emily Krontz, who I believe has fostered 38 children over the years. If I'm wrong, I'm sure I'll be corrected in that. This new award is justified, we believe, on the grounds that too often in the past, in assessing recipients of the Daniel J. Wright Award, we've had to compare the very remarkable achievements and efforts of persons such as Judge Butts, whose contributions are reflected by their work within our justice system, with the equally remarkable achievements of those such as Ms. Krontz, whose contributions are reflected outside of that justice system. So Child Welfare Services Director Kelly Wagner and myself and others who were involved in the award reflected upon whether a second award was merited and agreed that it was, and that each of these realms should have its own recognition. And the namesake of the new award, former Justice and former Director of the Department of Health and Human Services, my sainted friend and former colleague, Justice Maura Corrigan, Chief Justice Maura Corrigan, will present the new award to Ms. Krontz. And because of the extraordinarily thoughtful and influential work that Justice Corrigan performed in both the judicial and executive branches of government to give voice to children in foster care, it made perfect sense to those of us in this building. This award should be crafted in her name as it now is. So I would ask my former colleague to please announce the recipient of this year's first award.
Speak from over here. That'd be right. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. And thank you, Chief Justice Markman, for those kind words. Justice Clement, judges of the Berrien Courts, audience, I am very touched and very grateful that this award to an outstanding foster parent has been named after me. I cannot think of a greater legacy or a better purpose than to recognize outstanding foster parents. I am thrilled to present the award to our first recipient, Ramah Emily Krontz. But like Judge Butts, I have a few people to thank first. Congratulations to all of the new families who have been made today, most especially to Skylar and Brooklyn and Aiden and their adoptive parents. These families have been created by order of the court rather than by birth. On this wonderful 16th Adoption Day, and I understand now, if I heard Chief Justice Markman correctly, that more than 3,000 children have been adopted in Adoption Day proceedings across the state of Michigan over the past 16 years. And to me, like many others have said, this is really the happiest day of the year in court. Judge Butts, kudos to you on receiving the Daniel J. Wright Award. My thanks to the court and to the State Court Administrator's Office, to MDHHS, and to my successor and friend Nick Lyon, the agency partners for this new award, but also for all the work that all of you do every day in child welfare to help vulnerable children and families. And I especially know that I thank Kelly Wagner because I suspect that she had a lot to do with this award. And thank you for presenting the award in conjunction with the Wright Award on Adoption Day, because it is so meaningful to me, as Dan was a tremendous friend to me and a wonderful leader of child welfare in our state. Not just child welfare, but also child support. The older I get, and now I'm in my 7th decade of life, I can hardly believe it because I usually just feel like I'm 13 most of the time. But I have come to believe that we aren't involved in mere coincidence, but what occurs in our life is the product of divine providence. And it is divine providence that brought us together to do this work here in Michigan in our home. We have been blessed beyond measure. And that brings me to the subject of blessings. And that is a blessing named Ramah Emily Krontz, the first Corrigan Award recipient. And can I ask you, Emily, to come Ramah Emily Krontz, to come forward and stand next to me, please? I would like to ask, first of all, that come on over, members of the Krontz family who are here, and whether you're a member of that family by birth or because you're a foster parent, come on over here right next to me. Would you please raise your hands? If you're a member of the Krontz family, raise your hands. So I think the audience can see how many of Mrs. Krontz's family are here today. And I understand that one of her, is it great-grandchildren?
He's a
great-grandchild was a foster child of Mrs. Krontz, who has been adopted by her granddaughter. And would you stand for a moment along with your adoptive mother? Please stand. It's just wonderful. I want to commend Thomas Robertson, the director of the St. Joseph County Juvenile Court, who nominated Mrs. Krontz for this award. And it is important that you hear the language that he used in nominating her, because it's so powerful. Ramah served as a foster parent for 12 years, beginning in 2004 and retiring in 2016 at age 87. She has fostered 38 children, including 5 newborns. She has 5 children of her own, and are all 5 of your children here now?
No, my
Four.
son's a truck driver, he could make it.
All right, 4 of her children are here today. She has 20 grandchildren, 50 great-grandchildren, and 9 great-great-grandchildren. Imagine. She has treated her foster children as her own. She displays their photographs on the family photo wall in her home, alongside the photos of her biological family. Even after retiring, she maintains contact with her former foster children and their families, participating in their birthday celebrations and offering at no charge respite babysitting care. She's motivated by this simple observation: you have to love these kids. With characteristic modesty and selflessness, she has said, and I quote, "I feel like it was the good Lord's plan for me. I was just so blessed to be able to do that. People said these kids were so blessed to have me, but I think I was the one who was blessed to have them." And Robertson went on to say, and I quote again, "In my private practice, I was the attorney guardian ad litem for some of the children in Ramah's care. I visited the children in Ramah's home and observed the toys she purchased with her own funds. It was obvious to me that the children felt secure in her care. Ramah was always surprised when parents weren't following a treatment plan to regain custody of their children. She didn't blame the parents. She just thought that everybody would naturally feel the same love and receive the same reward that she did, providing care for a beautiful, helpless child." Ramah has spent many years working for our state of Michigan and the children and families of our state of Michigan, providing a secure home and nurturing during a time that would otherwise have been more traumatic for these children. So we commend her for her selfless caring. I have always felt that every child deserves a circle of love. Now, as a grandmother myself to only 5, not 20, I understand that circle of love and how it can extend across generations. And I think that what Ramah understands is so very simple. You have to love these kids. I have a little grandson who's 3. His name is Joseph Peter Grano. He's named after my late husband. And last week, his mommy was putting him to bed. And he said to her, "Mommy, I will always love you because God made us with so much loveness inside." And I think, Ramah, you have so much loveness inside, and I am honored to present to you the first ever Maura D. Corrigan Lifetime Achievement Award. Thank you so much. This is it. And the award says Maura D. Corrigan Foster Family Lifetime Achievement Award for exemplary service to Michigan's children and families, presented to Ramah Emily Krontz, November 2018. Congratulations. I invite you to say a few words. Okay. Hold on a minute. Should we hold up the award? Here, you hold the award. Here we go.
Oh, that's pretty. Well, I'm not much at public speaking, but I want to thank everybody that chose me. I really appreciate it. I think there's many people that deserve it more than me. But, and I want to thank Tom for nominating me. And he was a terrific guy coming out. He come out to my house. I took the baby up to his office the first time. And from then on, he came up to my house. And the other lawyers, I had a lot of different lawyers in different towns for the babies, and they were all nice, but he's the only one that come to the house, so I didn't have to go up there. He said it was easier for him than me. I would thank him. And I just thank everybody, and I thank my family for all the support they gave me during my time I had these babies. My kids, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, they played with them and just made them part of the family. So they had a lot of loving. But I would thank God for giving me the strength every day and for just blessing me with all the little babies. Sorry, I get emotional. But when I was a little girl, that's some people, that's kind of a stupid ambition, but all I ever wanted to do is grow up, get married, have babies. And I was married for 49 years, and then my husband and I was blessed with another dream of traveling, and we traveled in our motorhome all over the United States. That was a real blessing for 5 years. And 49 years of marriage, a lot of good years, like every marriage, some bad times, of course, but it's been a good life. And like you said, you can't believe the 70s. I can't believe I'm in my 90s. But the Lord's been really good to me. And then to be able to have these babies at my age, have them call me Mama again, something, really something. So I thank everybody. I guess that's all I got to say.
Well, we are out of tissues at this point. I am just about to bring down the gavel, but before I do want to thank Judge Mayfield, I want to thank Judge Bruce, I want to thank Judge Berger on behalf of Justice Clement and myself and the entire Michigan Supreme Court. I also want to congratulate Judge Butts and Ms. Krontz. But they, more than anybody else in this room, know that the real celebrants today are those who are part of the new forever families that have been brought together by this ceremony. And in particular, I want to call to the attention of Brooklyn and Aiden and Skylar the very large numbers that we're using in talking about Ms. Krontz's achievements. So they need to remember how to deal with large numbers. And once again, I urge you to do the best you can in your math classes. Once again, I urge all of you to take a few minutes and visit our Learning Center on the ground floor. And for those of you who are interested, I also really do invite you back in 2104 on our 100th anniversary of this courthouse, when we are also going to review the roll call of those who have been entered into these new families on our annual adoption day here in Lansing, and to try to assess, by looking at that roll call, what's been accomplished over the years at our annual adoption days here in Lansing. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for joining us, and we invite you to join us for lunch down on the first floor. Thank you so much.